Hello, 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 you're here, you're here. This is the place. You want to know what's going on? You want to know what's going to happen to your money? This is the place that has saved people for 20 years from wipeouts. This is the voice that warned about the last major crunch, the bunch, the wipeout of your real estate, the wipeout of your savings, the wipeout of your stock market trading account, the wipeout of your fund, the wipeout of nation's banks. The story that is little told even to this day. And here's what you really need to know. They're about to do it again. We're about to have the biggest wipeout in the history of the world. Why? Well, the market's much bigger. And it's caused by Donald Trump. Now, I know that we go out to a mixed audience with this webcast. And what I want to say to you is, do you love Donald Trump enough and buying this bullshit enough that you want to lose your house? Do you really believe that Donald Trump is the great leader fighting a deep state conspiracy who's lily white and pure? Or do you believe he's flawed? Now, let's talk straight. There's some things really, really wrong with Donald Trump. There's some really, really serious issues. There is a man here who is twisted. There's a man who you have to say is a liar. You can say, well, that's okay. As long as he lies to me, I don't care. And there's a man here who's out of control. And he's feeling the heat. In other words, let's talk straight. You got your personal attorney turning over tapes. You have got your chief financial officer making some kind of deal in secret. You have got an investigator that's talking to people in Russia, getting people to admit that, I carried a bag of money to the inauguration from the Russian oligarch for Donald Trump and pleading guilty. You've got people pleading guilty or being found guilty of collusion with Russians. So it's not a big leap of faith to say, well, maybe Danny Don's got himself an even bigger problem than we realize. Now, whether you think he's got a problem or not, let me let on a little secret. Donald Trump thinks he's got a problem. And Donald Trump is really feeling the hate, and as you can see, he's lashing out. He's lashing out at fake news. He's telling you that even if you hear me say, Russia, if you're listening, come help me, I didn't say that. If you hear me say I fired the FBI director to end the Russia investigation, I didn't say that. That's Dr. Tapes. Okay, so he's at the point of desperation where he's trying to make an idiot out of you. Now, that's okay. I mean, a lot of people want to make an idiot out of you, so why should Donald Trump be any different? The problem is that if he's successfully fooling you, you may lose your money. Let's just suppose that Donald Trump's a fraud. Let's suppose he's a Manchurian candidate. Let's just suppose, now we're supposing that there's no deep state conspiracy. There's a lot of very concerned people in the spy agencies that have a lot of information on Donald Trump that they can't come public with. And let's suppose that they're becoming more concerned by the day about Donald Trump, about his administration, about his actions. And let's just suppose, for sake of argument, that the prosecutor is moving so close, and Donald Trump knows it, that now he is threatening to fire the FBI director, and he's threatening to close down the investigation. Now let's suppose all that. I have one question. If this comes to fruition, do you really believe that it's good for the economy? Do you really believe that the stock market will continue to rally? Do you really believe a President Trump who throws America into a constitutional crisis will remain in office? Do you really believe this can work out well? And I think the answer is obvious to all of us that Donald Trump's got a great big problem. And the next phase of this big problem is it's going to spill over into the economy at large. Right now, Wall Street is giving Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt. Right now, Wall Street is not calculating into the equation a Trump presidential wipeout. I mean, a wipeout from the standpoint that an impeachment. Now, we're coming up to midterm elections, and despite all the blow and go, and there's a lot of blow and go to go around, the reality is that Trump's polling sucks. He's the most unpopular president ever, despite the fact that Fox News tries to poo-poo these polls. The fact of the matter is that Trump's got a problem. People don't like him, and his support is fading very quickly. People did not see the big tax break they thought they were going to have. People are not seeing the, oh my God, we're going to go ahead and give a tax break bonanza for billionaires. And all of a sudden, people are sitting here going, wait a minute, I'm not seeing this great economy they're talking about. Wait a minute, I am not seeing the prosperity. I'm not seeing new factories going up. And I'm not seeing Donald Trump coming through with any of the things he talked about. And his support is waning. Now, every time there's another Trump insider rolling over and taking a deal, every time there's another prosecution successful, another conviction, that wears more and more on Donald Trump. Now, you need to understand that Trump is a man under siege. We had the former intelligence head of the CIA say that he believes that Donald Trump is feeling the pressure and walled in by these events. James Clapper said Trump is feeling the pressure from the Mueller probe. And he said President Donald Trump feels the walls closing in on him as a result of the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. And I can tell you that the list of people going to jump ship has been added. Mattis, who's the Secretary of Defense, is getting ready to leave. And this is over the fact that Donald Trump wants to cancel joint military exercises with South Korea. And he said, that is James Mattis, we have no plans at the time to suspend any military exercises. The day after that, Donald Trump tweeted, there is no reason this time to be spending large amounts of money on joint U.S.-South Korean war games. Well, which isn't who's in control? It is obvious that the Trump administration is a house divided. It is obvious that, by the way, his chief counsel's leaving, White House counsel, and the reality is it's falling apart. Now, you need to grasp that we have got some serious shit going on here that's getting very ugly. Is Donald Trump having problems? Well, you're damn right he is. And does this end badly? Yes, it does. Now, where do you want to stand in this? I suggest to you it's a grave mistake for you to let Donald Trump's problems become your problems. I think it's a grave mistake if you don't really understand that Donald Trump has got some serious problems. These elections may not go well for him. And if you look at that from the standpoint of what can go wrong, you have to understand that Trump is feeling the heat. And Trump is not responding well. And you need to understand that at some point in the very near future, midterm elections happen. And we want to say to you that the world will change very much whatever the outcome of these elections. If Donald Trump can maintain his control, if Donald Trump can stay there and stay in and maintain discipline of the party, he's got a chance. Now, my firm belief is Donald Trump cannot do that. I believe he's going to lose the House and he's going to lose the Senate. I believe Donald Trump will be pulling a major publicity coup between now and the elections that will affect the markets. I believe that he understands that he has got to get control of this thing. And I feel like he has few options, and the options are all bad and getting worse. And I think it's a situation that you need to realize that the Trump presidency is in disarray, and that's an understatement, and that there's little Donald Trump can do to discipline the party. And that means that he needs a grand slam home run. He needs a big event. He needs to absolutely control the narrative in a stupendous way. Well, what could that be? Well, it could be war. It could be more economic action against our allies. It could be internal action, martial law, police state, race baiting and riots. Donald Trump could call out his troops and say, look, the liberals, they're going to take it over and they're going to violently oppose you. He actually said that. He actually warned evangelicals that the liberals, if they seize power and win the elections, that there will be violence against the church. He actually said that. And I want you to think about that and think about what's going on here. It's green tea time. You will need to drink this stuff. Much better than that Starbucks. How does Starbucks have any connotation with a cup of coffee? I always wondered about that. I get confused by these things sometimes. But anyway, people can spend their money the way they want, huh? Give me that $3 cup of sugar lace coffee. I'll take 2 of them, and I thank you. Do you ever notice how ratty the sofas are in there? I wonder what goes on with those things more. You would think they get somebody to clean them. But anyway, people can blow their money any way they want. My point to you is that Donald Trump, and I've said this broadcast after broadcast, that he's a wounded animal. I think that any chance of any civility, any morality, any honesty with Donald Trump is gone. I think you know that too. But what I really want to talk to you about is I feel like a lot of people are getting involved in this thing along political lines, and I don't know they understand that this is not political. I know they're trying to say that it's the conservatives against the libs, and that, you know, you've got to come to the defense of poor Donald Trump as the deep state conspiracy mounts an attack on him. But it's not the deep state conspiracy. You know, we got the military that's questioning Donald Trump on a regular basis. We've got spy agencies that are questioning him. There is issues with Russian collusion, as much as he denies there's Russian collusion. I can tell you that on the inside, among the military, among the intelligence agencies, they're very concerned about Putin. They're very concerned about Trump's relationship with him. And I can say to you, rightly so. I want you to hear me carefully. This is a man who's capable of anything in any way at any time. This is a very dangerous man from the standpoint that he's a liar in chief, from the standpoint that he's got to pass his break. Look, let's talk straight here. What he does with his swinging dick, I could care less. Really. I have no interest in Donald Trump's liaisons. I have no interest in any of that. But he has an interest in seeing to it I don't know about it. Now, I think it's settled business. Donald Trump personally ordered his staff to silence the bimbo eruptions. And I heard a tape of that effect, even though Donald Trump tells me that I should not believe anything I hear or see, but only what he tells me. You know, I've had people all my life tell me that shit, from presidents to school teachers to bankers to business associates to people on the other side of my trades. And I learned a long time ago, all of you can kiss my ass. I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to use my brain. And I'm going to come to my conclusions. And none of you are going to make an asshole out of me or make an idiot out of me, although everyone's tried. Now, they haven't been that successful, I might add. So my situation with Donald Trump is that here comes another long line of people that tell me what I see is not real, what I'm doing is not valid, and let them take control of my life, and everything will be okay. And I don't know about you, but I'm not going to do that. And I don't trust a politician, any of them, as far as I can see them. And when it takes to the situation with Donald Trump, I wouldn't trust him to walk across the room. If he tells me the sky is blue, I know not only do I need to check, but it can't be blue. Because I don't think he's capable of telling the truth anymore. And I think we've got one of the most dangerous presidents ever. Absolutely, he's been compromised by the Russians. And absolutely, the story's coming out. And absolutely, he's feeling the heat. And absolutely, he's going to do something very stupid. Now, like I said, I don't care what Donald Trump did with these people. I don't care what he does with his pants on or off. I really don't care. But he cares. And my problem at the present time is I really see Donald Trump feeling the heat. And I see Donald Trump going crazy. I see his administration falling apart. And I see him making really stupid mistakes. You heard this thing about the attack in Canada. Okay? This is the art of the deal? This is how we're going to respond? Really? I'm supposed to buy this shit? Nah, I don't think so. Don't make an idiot out of me, Donald. Please, please, please. I think Donald Trump's going to elections in a very weak position. And I think he knows it. I think he's very desperate. And here's the punchline. The markets are not pricing in even the possibility of Donald Trump's impeachment. Donald Trump has convinced them that he can handle it, and they believe it. And I think Wall Street, which is easily convinced about anything that helps the market go higher, that Donald Trump's a great president doing great things for the economy. And I don't see it. The numbers don't back it up. And I see markets that are ignoring the mounting crises. Okay? And I want you to know that when they do that, and I've been at this business a long time, when markets ignore reality, reality has a way of waking up and kicking them in the balls. Reality has a way of giving them an incredible wake-up call. And I would say it would behoove you to understand that Donald Trump is really feeling the heat. And I think it would be wise to understand that you have to consider a scenario where Donald Trump doesn't do so well in the upcoming elections. And then you have to ask yourself that a Donald Trump who's under attack from all sides, what does he look like? What does the economy look like? What does he do? What does he become? And I submit to you that this is a dangerously desperate man who I believe is self-destructing. I believe that he is a menace to society. And I believe that this will end very ugly. I'm absolutely convinced that Donald Trump is gravely concerned about his ability to maintain his office. I believe Donald Trump is planning a coup de grace. He is a showman, okay? He needs the headline. He needs to grab the news. He is really acting crazy. And he is really, really, and I feel like the breaking point. Do you hear me? I feel like the most powerful man on the planet is about to go off the deep edge. I believe the most powerful man on the planet is going to be crushed under the pressure. And I believe that Donald Trump is going to come unglued, unhitched. I think the wheels are going to fall off the cart. And I think we're going to wake up one day to a Donald Trump that may be a basket case. He may be a guy that they're going to haul out of the room. You hear what I'm saying to you? This is some real serious shit. And if you understand that, you understand that a president who's going to wipe out a recession that leads to a depression, it's a terrible thing to waste. Absolutely, unequivocally, Trump has got himself in a big ass shit. Now, we can say there's nothing to it, there's nothing burger, there's no collusion, it's deep state. But the reality is that many of Trump's associates are going down. Many of the people that Donald Trump's very close to are talking to prosecutors. And the convictions are growing. And the story is coming out. And the story does point to Russian collusion. It does point to crimes. Oh, by the way, Giuliani, who's really a thug himself, is trying to spin that the Mueller investigation is illegal, that they haven't found any collusion with the Russians, and therefore the investigation should be stopped. Now, the fact of the matter is, the naked truth is that the investigation has given wide latitude, as often is the case, that there have been court challenges to whether or not they're extending their mandate, and the court challenges have every single one of them said no, Mueller is not outside of the realm of where his investigations can go. Now, there's another event that happened this week that you need to understand, and that is the fact that the New York Attorney General, that's on the state level, is now investigating Cohen, is now investigating Manafort, and now investigating many Trump officials, including his son, Trump himself, for the possibility of crimes they've committed. Now, one of the big tools left to Donald Trump, besides the twits, besides keeping people stupid about, don't believe anything but what I tell you because it's all fake news, one of the big things he has is the ability to pardon people. And a lot of people have clammed up, and a lot of people are counting on what they feel like is a promised Donald Trump presidential power. Very powerful tool, right? You can do whatever you want. You can kill people, mass murder, and the President of the United States can pardon you, and you go scot-free. Except if these crimes are charged on a state level. And what has become very significant is Donald Trump's problems are now at the state level. Investigations are taking place on many fronts, and I am told unequivocally that they are finding all kinds of prosecutable offenses, and these offenses are in such a way that state statutes on double jeopardy do not apply, which means that these prosecutions can go forward, and these people can spend a lot of time in state prison, and all of a sudden, Donald Trump's promises of immunity are not enough to rescue these people. And that means that Donald Trump's power to influence these events is becoming less and less and less. And now that may not be a big deal to you, but people who are being called in before federal prosecutors, who are being educated on how to basically lie as cleverly as they can, are starting to crack under the pressure. And more people are now understanding it's every man for himself. more and more people realize that Donald Trump may not be able to rescue them. More and more people are going, oh, shit. Donald, I love you, buddy. But I got a wife and I got kids and I got a family to think of. And that is really what brought down Donald Trump's mouthpiece, Cohen. I mean, Cohen really folded on Donald Trump in a dramatic way. And Donald Trump's not happy about it. And we are at the point where all this matters. We're at the point where I believe that Donald Trump's entire criminal organization is coming down around him. And you need to understand that these midterm elections, from Donald Trump's standpoint, is a matter of life and death. You know, he's planning a great big rally to support at one time little Mr. Cruz, right? And people are starting to see through that. And, of course, Donald Trump's twits will come back to haunt him. And we're now in a situation where people are asking the question of, can Donald Trump rally his base? Will they really come to his rescue? And I want to tell you that, being a betting man, that my opinion is that Trump's in a lot of trouble. And that he needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat. And if he does not, this is going to go very badly for him. And I want to suggest to you one thing, that you better have your Donald Trump wipeout plan just like the people around him. Donald Trump will bring down the economy. Donald Trump will absolutely, positively create a constitutional crisis. Donald Trump will absolutely bring the nation divided against itself. And the stock markets are not pricing it in. They're not looking at this. They're not understanding it. And this is going to be a very serious mistake. So, you better price into your affairs a stock market crash. You better price into what you're doing a big upset in the midterm elections. And if that upset comes, the stock market, which is in la-la land, will be devastated. And we're going to have this huge stock market crash. We're going to have a huge wipeout at the end of the runway. And this is not going to go well. And this is going to end up in a Trump depression. Now, why I'm coming to you like this is that I've done this before. Before every wipeout, I go out to a wider audience and I warn them about it. Now, I know that you that you believe, and you that don't. And for 99% of the population that hears this, you know, on the outside audience, it's laughable. And the fact of the matter is, we're not taking any new subscribers. That's why there's no advertising. There's no place to sign up. We are all filled up. And we are preparing our base for the next wipeout. And the vast majority of people have been with me for a few of these, so they understand how it goes and they understand what to do. I'm doing this, and I want to be very clear, is that so myself and my loyal subscribers can have a clear conscience as we take your money, as Donald Trump wipes your ass out. So, if you're a Trump chump, one of the faithful, all I can say is God bless you and good luck. And our conscience is clear. We're going to take your money. And Donald Trump's going to ram his bullshit up your ass. He's going to impoverish you. Your daughters will be whores. Your sons will be drug dealers living a desperate life. The cities will be gladiator schools where people will be shot down and mowed down the streets. The races will hate each other. More and more people, as they become more frustrated and poor, will kill each other over a parking space. And this is the world Donald Trump loves and he wants to create. So, like I said, you can laugh this off. My conscience is clear. In my subscribers, you need to feel no guilt. No other person out there, no one, has done so much to educate the public about this. No one has done so much to warn people. In almost every media that's available. And everyone has to make their decision. You know, when the war comes, if you don't believe there's a war and you want to stay in the beaches of Normandy, that's your business. Well, you're not going to get a suntan, I guarantee you. So this is a situation where everyone has to make their choice. You want to believe Fox News that the only Russian collusion is not really Russian collusion and all that crap, that's fine. Please do so. My situation is I know better. I want my subscribers to know better, but more importantly, and the reason why I spend so much time on this, I really wish I could wake up one day and Donald Trump was gone. I never have to talk to so much again. Gone, out of my life, disappeared, kind of like Hillary. Donald Trump wants to make a big deal with Hillary. She's a stumbling old fool lady. Donald Trump's taken too much heart medicine, too many heart attacks, and he has too much brain damage. I'm sorry, I said Donald Trump, and I meant, though it's true with both of them, my good friend Bill Clinton is a has-been. He can't give a speech. Hillary can't climb the stairs to get on stage. They're done. Donald Trump wants you to focus on them to get eaten off of him. But, you know, that diversion is not going to work for me. So what I'm saying is that Judge Judy and all the Donald Trump apologists and manipulators, especially on Fox News, are telling you there's no collusion. Hillary needs to be investigated, all that shit. And just the logic of it is flawed. Why do I give a shit about Hillary Clinton? She's not president. She's not making economic decisions. She has no power over my life. I don't give a shit. Why do I care about Bill Clinton or the deep state conspiracy? So there is one. Boo, there's been a conspiracy all my life. What I care about is what affects yours and mine finances. What I care about is what gives us great trading opportunity. And the issue is Donald Trump. Look at the wars he's creating in free trade. Okay? Bill Clinton has no power to do anything in free trade. He can't even comment on it. Hillary has no say, no dog in the hunt. Why do I give a shit about these people? And the answer is, I sure as shit do not. I could care less. Now, you better start paying attention to what is real here. And you better start grasping on the fact that Donald Trump's going to get his ass kicked in the elections. By the way, the polling is going very badly. Now, I know there's polls and polls are bullshit and all that, but don't fall into that trap either. There's fake news. Yes, there's fake news. There's a kernel of truth in it? Yes. Is there real news? Yes. Is there good polling? Yes. Is there bad polling? Yes. And that's the job. See, the job of an analyst is to analyze the data and come to the right answer, and that's what I do. And I'm telling you that, forget all this deep state bullshit and, lock up Hillary and all that crap. That's bumper sticker shit. That ain't going to make you any money. That's not going to protect your portfolio. That's not going to stop your PIMCO and your various other BlackRock and dumb shit crap you've bought because it was high yield from wiping out because they're chock full of Venezuela and Argentina and, did I mention Brazilian debt that's going to soon take a huge hit. Okay? So reality is that you are sitting on a recession. The Fed is raising rates. The yield curve is 10 basis points between the 2 and 10s, okay? 10 basis points, okay? That's getting pretty goddamn flat. Now, if you don't understand and you can't put the pieces together, you can't keep my seat. Let me tell you this. There's 2 jobs you got to do in life. One is you got to figure out how to make money, okay? And the second job is that then once you make the money, you got to figure out how to keep it. Now, a lot of you did good on job 1, but job 2, you gave your hard-earned money. Go, I don't know what to do with it. Here, you take it. Pipco goes, hey, no problem, buddy. Yeah, we got a slam a damn a fund for you, buddy. Slam a damn a high yield all west. When you retire, you're going to be a retirement millionaire. That's a millionaire in pesos, not dollars. So we are coming up to the nut cutting. We're coming up to crunch time, and we'll be doing more of this and try to make you understand that Donald Trump's numbers and polling look really bad, and he's really worried. And if Donald Trump's worried, you should be too. Got it? Donald Trump is scared shit about these elections. Donald Trump is scared shit about a prosecutor. He's about to fire the attorney general. He's about to fire the prosecutor. He's about to do some grandiose stunt, which I'm not sure what it is, to try to win the elections and pull it out. And this is a dangerous man who's about to go down, and he's going to take the economy with him, and I just hope he doesn't wipe you out too.